Hi, I'm Normon. I'm running for Congress in the new North Coast District in California. Thanks for having me on the program. The point today for me is that we've got to challenge corporate power. That's in the Occupy movement, and also we've got to occupy Congress. Our race here, and you can find me on the web at SolomonForCongress.com, is grassroots. We have more than 600 volunteers. We have more than 3,000 people who've given us money. We're not taking any corporate PAC money. That's essential to this race. We're not taking corporate dollars, and we need your help. I'm supporting a 1% transaction tax on Wall Street, which would yield $150 billion a year as part of a full employment package. We need a Green New Deal, and it can be done if we organize effectively. John Conyers in Congress, who I've worked with as co-chair on the Healthcare Not Warfare campaign, has a bill that would mean full employment in this country and also taxing Wall Street finally, so that they're not having a free ride and ripping off the rest of the country. I am a loyal Democrat, which means I believe you fight the Republican agenda, including when it's being pushed by our Democratic president. I support Obama when he's correct. I fight him when he's wrong. He's wrong on throwing habeas corpus under the bus, deferring to Wall Street, having wars continue around the world. That's not the future that we need for our country. So I invite you to be part of our campaign. SolomonForCongress.com on the web. Love to work with you. Thanks a lot.
All right, Rick, what do you think?
Listen, I mean, I have no allergic reaction to putting this tax on. I kind of like it. They've been trying it for years. Here's the problem. As much as I would like to tax Wall Street, especially for doing these types of speed trading, as I call it, it really doesn't work unless you get every single nation that has a strong financial center to participate. Because if you tell me as a trader that I'm going to have to pay a quarter cent on every transaction, you know what? I'm going to go, fine. I'm going to get on the internet or pick up the phone and I'm going to call London and I'm going to do my trades there. And if that's a problem, I'm going to go to Paris, wherever I have to go.
But Rick, one of the problems is that the developed countries try to get together to do this, to do it, and who blocked it? Tim Geithner, our Treasury Secretary.
Tim Geithner did block it, but he blocked it with a very strong assist from Great Britain. And with London as the center of the financial world today, if Tim Geithner had supported it and London went against it, it wouldn't have made a difference.
I know, but Tim Geithner could have pushed London in the right direction. Instead, he pushed the world in the wrong direction, as he always does. James, what's your sense of, like, hey, can't we just get a 0.25% from the banks and raise, by the way, $150 billion a year? You know that all of the state budget shortfalls for all the whole 50 states is only $160 billion.
I can't believe that I'm going to be the guy sitting here defending Barack Obama's Secretary of the Treasury on the panel. But yeah, let's get it.
Oh wait, it is.
Look, this is not the wrong decision. We should have an allergic reaction to this. I understand where the sentiment is coming from, and I sympathize with the idea that Wall Street is ripping off the rest of America. But here's the deal: the way to go about fixing the system is not by taxing free enterprise and reaching in and grabbing money every time I give a dollar to you or you give a dollar.
Isn't every tax a tax on free enterprise? What does that mean?
Here we are. The solution is break up the banks, stop the bailouts, separate government and finance as much as you can. These are principles that were laid out by Republicans like John Huntsman. He's not in the race anymore, but this argument is still a live and growing part of what Republicans are talking about, what conservatives are talking about. What we don't want to do is go after prosperity. What we do want to do is go after the place where corporate power and government power come together to create something that's bad for everyone.
No, but it's not a matter of going after prosperity. It's a matter of saying, hey, you know what? We all have to pay taxes so that the government can run. Either we're going to pay it or the giant banks are going to pay it, and it lowers speculation. It's a win-win.
Can I insert a distinction? It's not about going after prosperity. It may be about going after those who prosper at the expense of those who pay for it.
But this isn't taxing specific people or specific institutions. It's taxing an activity, and that's the kind of activity that anyone can participate in. Look, Europe is going to do this.
We do that all the time, don't we?
Europe is going to do this. We'll see how Europe does. Get back to me when their economy continues to spiral down the gutter.
Oh, by the way, they spiral down having nothing to do. Like the conservatives love to say, oh, look at the socialists in Europe. No, you know why they're spiraling down? Because Goldman Sachs came in and said, oh, I got a bunch of great loans to sell you. Don't worry, they'll be fine. Oops, they exploded on you.
It could even be both.
No, because they were doing fine until 2007. Nomi Prince is a great thesis on this. They were until actually our banks came in and said, look at how we got bailed out. Don't worry, you're going to get bailed out. Keep taking more money. Right. So Jessica, thoughts on this?
So Rick is exactly right. You need global buy-in. And the problem is if you don't have that, it's not going to work. It's very difficult to get a consensus in our city council, in our state, on a federal level. So it's very difficult to get a consensus internationally. I think this would be a good move. The studies I've seen show that it really wouldn't affect long-term investors. It would affect what Rick says, the high-speed traders. And
Isn't that a good thing?
Yeah, so it would, from what I've seen, it would decrease speculation, it would decrease volatility. That's something, as we've seen in California, we desperately need, where we have this boom and bust economy. So I think it would be a great idea. Whether it's going to happen or not, I'm a cynic.
The economy moves at 21st century speeds. If you put the brakes on that, we're going to be worse off.
Well, the reason I'm a cynic is because of the first point that we discussed, which is that politicians are controlled by whoever donates the most, and the banks donate a ton of money. So that's why it's not going to work. But if we had an actual democracy that worked, if you tell the American people, hey, I can tax you more, right? Or I can cut spending on Social Security or Medicare, or I could do 0.25% tax on financial transactions, it's the biggest no-brainer in the world. It would win 99-1. But apparently we don't live in a democracy.
And the other problem, if I could, James, it's true. The economy does move at 21st century speed. But this becomes a problem. Speed trading is not really a significant part of our economy. It's not putting people to work, except for maybe a few more Wall Street people. It's not really having a positive impact on our overall economy. It's having a really good impact on the people clever enough to read those charts and those graphs and buy and sell 17 times within the course of a day. It's not helping the economy. It's helping their economy.
Well, if it's not helping the economy, then why is it making so much money?
For who? It's helping their economy. If you're a speed trader, it's good for you.
Just because Mitt Romney and Lloyd Blankfein made a lot of money doesn't mean it helped our economy. Our economy is in disastrous shape.
The international economy is completely interlocked. They don't live in a little lockbox where the money just goes up and down and never escapes. It goes into government, it comes back the other way. The doors are open.
But that's not the issue. I agree with you. But that's not the issue. The issue of speed trading it has nothing to do with that. And Cenk's point is exactly right. There's a lot of people who not only made enormous sums of money as we marched off the cliff. There's a lot of people today making enormous sums of money as we swim down below in the ocean. So I'm not sure that you can lump those people and say this is the economy. This is a very small part, dare I say the 1% part, who is doing very well, no matter how the economy is faring.
Well, look, it might be good to expand that percent, whatever it is. I think it's greater than 1. But I think there is a point that does need to be made, which is, look, the beating heart of the American economy is the entrepreneurial spirit. It's not these super fast transactions where giant sums of money are moving back and forth at the speed of light. I don't think that a speculation tax is the right move to make. I think calling it a speculation is somewhat pejorative. But I do think it's important to remember that the thing that generates jobs in this country, the thing that creates commercial dynamism, that gives us the kind of life that we're used to, it comes from the entrepreneurial spirit. It doesn't come from this.
I have no problem with the spirit. I really don't. I don't believe that this is representative of the American entrepreneurial spirit. The American entrepreneurial spirit makes a risky investment in something that it believes in. It builds something. It produces a good, a service. It gives us something.
Tangible stuff.
Yeah.
Look, there's
it doesn't
value
just
in the
trade money.
There's value in the financial industry, and obviously money flows to the companies that are better able to succeed. We've been through all that. We all understand that, right? But at the same time, it's not the kind of disproportionate value that they're getting. Right. I mean, teachers get next to nothing compared to the bankers. And what do the bankers do? They sit there and they go, I'll go here and I'll go there. And in fact, they'll do it at such great speed, I'll have this absurd, unnatural advantage. It is not proportional to what they're actually contributing to the economy at all. So can we raise their taxes by 0.25%? My point is, hell yes we can. And we should. When we come back, slut shaming. What is that? We will discuss and perhaps debate.